Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Gemma, and today I'm going to be walking you through a mobility session for your ankles and your calves. So all you're going to need is a ball. I do have a mobility ball, but you could use like a baseball or a cricket ball. Something that you'll be able to kind of roll out your muscles with, okay? So we'll start with a squat. So I just want you to get into your deepest squat. Reset my time. We'll get into our deepest squat, okay? So I want you to see how this feels. So notice if your heels are down, notice if your knees are kind of in, if you're kind of leaning over to one side or the other, if you feel super tight in the ankles and the calves, and just kind of notice it. We'll stay here for a second just to kind of let it all sink in. So as we're here, we can even start to stretch out a little bit. So we'll drive the knees out with the elbows and then release. We'll do it again. One more. All right, so we'll come on up. All right, so we'll grab our ball and come down onto our knees. So with the ball, we're gonna put it as close to the back of your knee as you can. I'll grab my timer as well. Put it to the back of your knee, as close to the back of your knee as you can. And we'll just start to sit down onto it. So we're gonna do each side for about a minute. And all we're gonna do is just sit back on the ball. You might have a lot of sensation. You might have no sensation. Depends how tight your calves are. So you'll roll it down toward the ankle a little bit more and then just sit. Try to get the nice tender spots and breathe into it. And if it's not tender at all, great. You might have some pretty tenderized calves. We'll just work our way toward the ankle, and if you can sit right on the ball, go for it. You can tell by my facial expressions, it's a little tender, and that's kind of what we want. You don't want it to hurt, just a little tender, like it doesn't tickle, right? All right, do one more. Beautiful. So let's switch sides. And just as close to the back of the knee as you can, and then just sit down. And sides are gonna be different. So this is as far as I can go on this side because it's really tender. So if you've had any past injuries on one side, that'll probably be your tender side. And remember to breathe into it. And if you want to, you can sit and stay as well, trying to really relax it. This kind of reminds me of before you barbecue, sometimes you like beat the steak up, you tenderize the meat. That's what this reminds me of, barbecue. I've just made everyone hungry now, I think. We're almost there. All right, do one more. There you go, beauty. All right, we'll come on up. You can roll around the ankles, shake them out a little bit. All right, so we did the back of the calves. So now we're gonna do this muscle that runs along the shin. So put the ball down. You're just gonna lean on it. Okay, so you're gonna roll up and down the shin. Just putting as much pressure as your body allows. Like I said, you don't want this to hurt. It should just feel like, oh, there it is. Every time I do this, it feels like I'm gonna have a big bruise on my shin. I never do. It's just that feeling of, ooh. good to loosen up the muscles. This is such a good thing to do, rolling out either a ball or a roller, foam roller, before you lift weights. Roll out the fascia and the muscles. Get everything moving. All right, let's switch sides. Let's get the muscle right to the side of the shin. Try not to flex up too much. Almost there. One more big roll. All right, beautiful. All right, so we can roll around the ankles again, shake them out, do what you need. So now we'll stretch the ankle a little bit. So if you can sit on your heels, great. You're gonna step 1 foot forward a little bit. And then you're gonna put some pressure on the knee. Okay, so if the heel's coming up, you want the heel down as much as you can. If you can't put pressure on your knee like that, you can be here, same thing, right? You're just putting some pressure on that bent knee. I'll sit down for you. So just as much pressure as you can, you wanna lean onto the knee, okay? And we'll stay here for about a minute again. So you can rock back and forth if you like that, or once you find that spot where it's stretching the calf and it feels okay, you can sink into it. So you can just kind of sit here and breathe into it. Heels not up, the heels down. And if you're having trouble with getting deep into your squat, this is a game changer. And so your ankle mobility is a big part in squatting. So maybe move around a little bit, find a different spot, and we'll sink into it for about 10 more seconds. All right, perfect. Switch sides. So again, if you can't sit like this, we'll stand. You can stand up. Again, sides are going to be different. And if you know you have a really tight side when you're doing this at home, maybe you do the tight side first so that you get that side done twice. Right? So you can do the tight side, other side, and then do the tight side again. Keep breathing into it. And if you're not finding it to be a big stretch, move around. Find the stretch and then sink into it. Almost there. Take one more big breath into it. Perfect. Let's come onto the knees again. Shake them out. Shake out the ankles, roll them around. So we're gonna stretch the ankles a little bit more, ankles and feet. So we'll do the tops of the feet. So bringing the knees together, and I'll show you from the back here. So trying not to let the heels splay out. So you want the heels to be coming in, not out, okay? Big toes are together, heels are coming towards one another. And then we'll just lean back. So this might be where you stay. You might start to bring one knee up, then the other. You might bring both knees up, right? Depending on how that feels on your ankles and your feet. But try to have your feet straight. Trying to have the ankles or the heels splaying out. And then again, we'll do this for about a minute. And if it's way too much to sit on the heels, you can sit on your bum and pull the toes forward, okay? Again, you don't want any of these stretches to hurt. So if they hurt, back off a little bit, Find a place in the stretch where it feels uncomfortable. So if you're on your bum, pulling the toes, do the other side. Let's do 3 more seconds. All right, let's come on up. Roll the ankles, this should feel nice. After that, and of course, you've got to do a counter stretch. So, let's bring the knees together, bring the toes together and the heels, and sit back on the heels. So, that little baby toe, try to tuck it, untuck it. You want to get that stretch in as well. So if this is way too much, you can be here, putting a little bit of pressure onto the feet. If this is okay, sink into it, right? Let's breathe into this together. Because I mean, it feels okay now. Give it a few seconds. Your toes are not gonna fall off. I will tell you this. They might be screaming at you, telling you that they're gonna fall off. Breathe into it. If it's agony, come out. But if it's just a big, big sensation, we're in it together, okay? Yeah, there it is. If it helps, close the eyes. Breathe deeper. I can feel my shoulders coming up, so let's bring the shoulders down. We don't need tension in the shoulders when we're stretching out the feet. Let's sit for 10 more seconds. All right, as slowly as you can, as you need to. We'll come off the feet. Ooh, wiggle those toes. They're still there. Told you they would fall off. And then you can tap your feet on the mat. Wiggle the ankles, roll them around, do whatever you need after that. That was intense. All right, my favorite part. We'll stand up, grab your ball, and we're gonna roll out our feet, okay? We'll roll out the bottoms of our feet to finish off. So we'll go for about a minute each side. So all you're doing here is putting some pressure on your feet, okay? So stepping on the ball, maybe this is where you stay. You might roll around, okay? And again, we're trying to look for those really tender areas, not to hurt them, just to roll it out a little bit. See if we can get it a little less tender. Roll up around the toes. Try to fan your toes as well. When you fan your toes, you flex your feet. Let me get into those muscles a little bit more. And then roll the sides of the feet. Ooh, don't roll off the ball. Around the heels, the arches. Almost there. All right, let's switch sides. All right, so just rolling around. Again, trying to find those tender areas. And then fanning the toes, if you can. It's hard when you're standing on a ball, but we'll try. Get the arches and around the heels as well. It's like a self-massage. Almost there. Let's go for 3 more seconds. All right, push the ball aside. And we'll come back into your squat, but first let's stretch out the toes. This always feels really nice. Roll up onto the toes. All right, let's come down into our squat. Okay, just notice if it feels any different. I know right away it kind of it just feels a lot easier to get into with my ankles, right? I'll just sit, just for a second. And just kind of noticing anything that you notice. If there was really tight areas in the first squat that we did that maybe are a little looser, perfect. All right, and let's come on up. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today for this mobility session, and I will see you again. Have a good day.